Aerys I Targaryen had unexpectedly inherited a realm under assault from three different key issues. The Great Spring Sickness had wreaked havoc up and down the Seven Kingdoms, King's Landing most of all. Aegon Greyjoy and his Ironborn had begun raiding and pillaging up and down the coast of the Sunset Sea without challenge, and murmurs of another attempted rebellion by House Blackfyre were growing in number. King Aerys, a man never expected to be king, and ill-prepared for the role, found himself in a dire situation with too much to focus on himself. But that is why kings have their counsellors, most of all the Hand of the King, the second most powerful man in the realm, with the ability to act in the king's name and with the king's voice. With many dying at court and still divisions on the Blackfyre rebellion, King Aerys had limited options, and while many did expect Prince Maekar to be named Hand, Aerys went a more unexpected route, but as history has proven to us, he perhaps did choose wisely with the man he chose among the most infamous Hands of the King to take the position, one of the great bastards, Brynden Rivers, Bloodraven, who played such a key and vital role for the Loyalists during the Blackfyre Rebellion and had proven himself a capable politician, able to make challenging choices during the Great Spring Sickness. It was in fact Bloodraven's plan to burn the dead of King's Landing in the Dragon Pit, a difficult decision to make, but one that proved vital in stemming the spread of the sickness. But there are also those that speculate there was more to Bloodraven's appointment as Hand than his political skill and loyalty. It has also been put forward by some, more likely a cause for Bloodraven's rise to power was in fact King Aerys' interest in arcane lore and ancient history, matched by that of Bloodraven's, whose studies of the higher mysteries were an open secret at the time. Bloodraven had already risen to prominence at court, but few had expected that Aerys would consider naming him Hand. When he did, it kindled a quarrel between the king and his younger brother, Prince Maekar, who had expected the handship to come to him, like many others at court. Thereafter, Prince Maekar departed King's Landing for his seat at Summerhall for years to come. Despite the suggestion of many that Prince Maekar was the more suitable choice for Hand, Bloodraven did prove to be a capable hand to Aerys, but was also at the same time perhaps the best master of whisperers the realm had ever seen, rivaling the like of Lady Misery, the White Worm, who played such a key role during the Dance of the Dragons. Many rumours would be spread of Bloodraven over his time as Hand, owing to his interest in the arcane, and his unmatched ability to sniff out a secret or a hidden plot. There were those who thought he and his half-sister and lover, Shiera Seastar, used black sorcery to ferret out secrets, given how impossible the extent of his knowledge of them became. It is believed that Bloodraven, during this time, also proposed marriage to Shiera numerous times, but she always refused his offers, for reasons unknown, which has puzzled many, given their known love for each other. Among the small folk and lords alike, it became common to refer to Bloodraven's 1,000 eyes and one. So much fear did Bloodraven spark in men both high and low born, they would begin to even distrust their neighbours or closest kin for fear of them being a spy in Bloodraven's employment. Yet the truth of the matter is any king needs a good spy master, whose web of spiders is unknown even to him. And given the situation in the realm, Aerys had great need of spies, given the trouble that followed the Great Spring Sickness, in the form of houses Greyjoy and Blackfyre. But Brynden Rivers' skills also came with its downsides. As summer came, with it also came the worst drought that Westeros had seen for many decades, lasting more than 2 years. Many blame the king, but even the most uneducated of men knows the king has no real power over the rain. But given Bloodraven's position of power and the aura of darkness around him, Brynden Rivers became the target of countless accusations. Many cursed Bloodraven as a kinslayer, among others, but rather than let this damage his reputation or ability, Bloodraven embraced his dark reputation and used this element of fear to his own advantage. But this drought ended up causing many small folk to leave their lands in search of somewhere where the rain still fell. Brynden ordered them to return to their own lands, but few did obey. Many of them became robbers and rogues. Prices increased as trade dwindled, and it was widely held that travel was less safe under Aerys' reign than it had been under his father or even his grandfather. By the year 211 AC, Sir Otho Bracken, known as the Brute of Bracken, was expected to succeed to the lordship of Stonehenge. Not wanting to see such a man in power, the traditional Bracken rivals of House Blackwood were expected to start a war to root him out. It was suggested that Brynden, being half Blackwood himself, would not be inclined to hear any complaints of the members of House Bracken. Septon Stefan believed that Brynden would most likely do nothing, and if he did decide to act, it would only be to help his Blackwood kin to bring Otho to bay. It was that same year of 211 AC that Lord Dagon Greyjoy's raiding on the western coast of Westeros also came to a head, as the raids grew in the size of their targets. They included the likes of Fair Isle, and the shipping of the Arbor, and several villages in the Reach. By 212 AC, Lord Baron Stark had to call his banners to repulse the Iron Men from the Stony Shore, while House Lannister was building ships to strike the Iron Islands directly. While Bloodraven surely played a part in dealing with the Greyjoy uprising, he too surely kept his eye on Tyrosh, where his half-brother, Aegon Rivers, Bittersteel, remained with the surviving sons of Daemon Blackfyre in exile, something Bloodraven saw as a much more dangerous prospect than the Ironborn raids, as House Targaryen eventually managed to stop the raids with ease, with the assistance of House Stark and Lannister. History debates as to whether Brynden Rivers deserved his negative reputation, but one thing many do believe is he was a competent Hand of the King, the best Master of Whisperers, and he played a vital role in the history of Westeros and the events that were to follow, shaping the final years of the Targaryen dynasty.